Little Bob in trouble. The sun was setting over the vast ocean as a giant cruise ship glided smoothly through the water. On board was the Johnson family, Mom, Dad, and their 12-year-old son, John. Accompanying them on this grand adventure was a small black kitten named Bob, John's most beloved companion. With his glossy black fur and bright, curious eyes, Bob was the heart of the family. But curiosity often leads to trouble. That evening, Bob ventured too close to the edge of the deck, fascinated by the waves below. A sudden gust of wind rocked the ship, and before anyone noticed, the little kitten slipped and fell overboard. His frightened cry was drowned out by the roar of the engines and the crashing waves. The cold water swallowed Bob instantly, and his tiny paws flailed desperately. His small body began to sink when his claws suddenly snagged onto something, an old piece of foam drifting in the water. Trembling and soaked, Bob clung to it, his tiny heart pounding. Waves carried him further and further from the ship until, hours later, a faint strip of land appeared on the horizon. By the time Bob reached the shore, he was exhausted but alive. Crawling onto the sand, he shook himself and looked around. This wasn't home. He was alone, stranded in an unfamiliar place with no idea where his family was. Hunger gnawed at him, and he wandered into a bustling marketplace, drawn by the smell of food. There were fish stalls, meat vendors, and plenty of scraps. But every time Bob tried to sneak a bite, someone would yell at him. A man even threw a rock, hitting his paw and making him limp away in pain. Later, as Bob searched for a safe place to rest, he wandered into an alley where a pack of stray dogs spotted him. They barked loudly, their sharp teeth flashing. Bob barely managed to escape, squeezing into a narrow gap between two fences. His heart pounded as he listened to the dogs growling outside. Days turned into weeks. Bob grew thinner, his shiny black coat now dull and matted. His once bright eyes were full of sadness. Every night, he would find a quiet corner to curl up in and think of his boy, John. He remembered John's gentle hands, his laughter, and the way he'd whisper, "You're my best friend, Bob." The memories brought tears to Bob's eyes as he meowed softly into the night. One rainy morning, Bob huddled under a shop awning, trying to stay dry. He was cold, hungry, and losing hope. Then he heard something, a voice. "Bob? Is that you?" Bob froze. That voice. His ears perked up, and he slowly turned toward the sound. Standing a few feet away was John, his John. "Bob!" John cried, rushing forward. He scooped the kitten into his arms and held him tightly. "I thought I'd lost you forever. Mom. Dad. I found him," John called, his voice shaking with joy. John's parents ran over, tears in their eyes. Together, they hugged and kissed the little kitten, who purred softly in John's arms. "We'll never lose you again, Bob," John whispered. For the first time in what felt like forever, Bob felt safe and loved. As he nestled into John's arms, he knew he was finally home.